Hola y bienvenidos para Voces para KERN.
Ah, mi amigo, mi amigo. Ah.
Welcome back, guys. How to, keep that diversity. So,
Let's fly.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Let's fly.
So we're back with a whole new episode. This one is it's a good topic, back to school, and we're gonna be talking about some of the hardships that comes with going to or getting your education and stuff like that. It's not always necessarily all rainbows and sunshines, as we all know.
Nope.
So our topic is barriers to education.
Whew.
And that could be anything ranging from, we've been talking to certain schools and stuff like that, like transportation, family, mental health issues. And then going back to like my own story, to get this started off.
Do we intro the guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's intro.
I
Who's
forgot.
new? Is anybody new?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This guy's
Oh,
secret.
you already came. You came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Anthony Rios. I'm 18. I started like a month ago, and I think my favorite memory from being time change is when we went to Germany. We went with the German people because that was pretty fun talking with them.
That's right.
That's true.
And he's a college athlete.
Yeah, college athlete.
He challenged me to a race. He's out of his mind. I can make this thing. What's up? We can
take this
You should
outside.
We can get it videotaped and put it on the podcast.
Hey, bro.
But
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna put the race in the middle of the podcast with a break, bro.
We're gonna do it.
All right, and right after this, we're going outside.
Right after this?
And I'm so full of crap right now, it's ridiculous. I will never race you. You're a college athlete, I will never race you.
AJ
Nah,
racing.
we have to.
Yeah.
We're going back.
AJ! He said AJ be racing.
All right,
Gotta
so
be
now we can just introduce yourself again.
Yeah, so my name is Dylan Duenas Silva. I'm 18, and I started here summer of last year, 2022. My favorite memory, the Tupi. I think the Tupis were pretty fun. The Tupi education thing when we went to the MLK Park and educated the kids about drug use prevention and stuff.
School program and all that.
Yeah,
With the song and all that.
with the song
Yeah.
with J5.
I just need a hug.
I just need a hug! Shout out to the homie J5.
Has he been on the podcast yet?
Nah,
No.
I think it was supposed
Shout
to.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
Featuring J5. Let's do it one day.
J5.
we're gonna make a remix of that song.
I'm not gonna lie, make your breath stink. You guys, go if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch the video when we put it out.
This would be so out of context if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's an insider.
It's insane.
Put it on the promo.
Ooh. And that will save me from having to race this fool.
It's true.
All right, so going back to barriers to education, I'm kind of gonna share my own story, so we can get this started, kick it off.
Okay.
All right, so
Let them cook.
I feel like we've all faced certain barriers, and no matter how little, like I said, transportation. For me, transportation was never really an issue. I lived in a small city. I mean, you can walk from one end of the city to the other in like 20 minutes.
What city?
I lived in Lindsay, California.
Yeah.
So, there's one road that can take you from one end to the other. So that was never really much for me. But I feel like definitely it was my biggest issue was just, my friend groups, people who I hung out with and stuff like that. I remember growing up, my principal, he was only there for like a year or two. But when he came in, I don't know how he got my name. I don't know how they told him, like, hey, meet with this kid. But one day he just called me in and he was like, all right, come. And I remember I was in class, they're like, oh, principal wants to meet with you. And everybody looked at me like, what the heck, dude? Like, what does he want to see you for?
Yeah, like what I do.
Yeah, and I was like, what did I do? And then I go in there and
You've done like 20 things, so you don't know
so I
which
was like,
one.
dang. Which one is he gonna tell me now?
Exactly.
But now he actually just called me up to meet with me and stuff like that. And he told me one time, he was like, you show me your friends and I'm gonna show you your future. And I was like, bro, like this guy's, nah, there's no way, he's crazy. But I was like, he's crazy.
You're young,
yeah. I was like, that's my homies right there.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuck with me because once, I got to leave that friend group and, kind of changed my life, I saw that, just leaving that behind and surrounding myself with other people kind of brought different
Clarity, right?
clarity and just,
How you think?
yeah.
Wow.
It changed the way I think for sure. Like now, being around all these people, like everybody has their masters. I want to get my master's degree before. I was like, everybody been to jail. I want to go to jail.
Hey, you have to.
I gotta go. That's kind of like your badge, Like,
You ain't tough unless you can go in there and handle your shit.
Yeah. So, and
so
just
ratchet though.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and that was definitely the biggest barrier to me. Especially going back to education. I was always ditching class. I didn't really want to pay attention. It was nothing to me. I was like, this isn't gonna pay off. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get lucky if I even finish this. So I just never thought it was something that I can do, and that's definitely a big barrier. I feel like a lot of kids now, maybe that's their barrier. Their friends, their influences, but they just don't see it now. They don't.
And once they're out of it, they can see like clearly, and it's just like it makes so much sense after you leave that kind of like bad
environment. Exactly, because you're in there and you're like, this is it. Like, this is all I got.
I love the homies.
And then once you leave it, you're like, dang, that's crazy. Like, these guys are over here like literally like hurting my future,
ruining my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the same time, we
Personal
make our choices.
responsibility.
Yeah, so
that's a lot harder with the homies though. Kendrick Lamar said it best, right? With the homies, like, do I really want to go sit and I'm already 3 weeks behind in this math class when the other homie has like a couple Bud Lights and he wants to go to the house and get it cracking? I don't even see a choice. I'm at the house.
Yeah, for
then
sure.
at the end of the quarter or the end of the semester, yours.
And you know what? That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the times that's what it is, and just skipping class was definitely a big barrier for me. Family problems and stuff like that as well. I never had a close relationship with my dad. I remember we got into a fist fight one time. We got down.
You box pops?
Bro.
You know what I want to ask, but I can't. I can't, but I'm going to get off.
Yeah, like
Who won? I'm asking now.
Nah.
I
don't think of it as winning or losing. I felt like I lost for sure.
It's an L no matter what.
Because at the end of the day, at the end of that, I didn't have nowhere to go. Yeah, so
you out the crib too?
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, it was. So definitely, like, all these problems, and I feel like going back to that, bro, my influences, it was like, bro, like, because that's why we started arguing, because of the things that I was doing back.
Oh, really?
Outside. So
he wants you to change?
Yeah, bro. So
apologize right now.
I'm sorry. He's heard it for sure. And,
oh yeah.
And our relationship has changed.
He's like super proud of you, huh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I think so.
Shout out to Victor's pops. You raised a fine young man.
First time, and my dad's name is Victor too. So
Victor Senior.
Victor Junior, right there.
Yeah. So, and actually, like, the first time I ever heard him say he was proud of me was actually on Telemundo. On Telemundo, I got
Your dad's an actor?
No, I got interviewed by. I got interviewed by Telemundo at BC when I graduated.
Whoa!
And they were like,
I remember that. Yeah.
They talked to my dad, and I was like, dang, like, that was the first time he says he's proud of me, And that after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah. But then before that, it was always issues. So all of these things come to education. Problems back at home, out in the streets. When you're thinking about all these things, you go to school and like, why am I gonna think about this? I got other things to worry about. I gotta worry about my life once I leave. So these were all barriers that I had, and I feel like we all have our different stories. So I'd like to hear from you guys to see what some of the barriers that you guys had and stuff like that. You too, Jovon.
I was just a thug. We don't gotta take all day on that. I was a thug. I wanted to fight. I wanted to gamble. I wanted to have fun. If I got a girlfriend, I forgot about everything in life and just wanted to kick it with her. Her after school, in the middle of class, between class. But I was an athlete. That was the one thing that kept me involved with school. Because if I didn't come through, even if I was at the end of the quarter, trying to be like, you got some extra credit. Can I make up some assignments?
Yeah.
I was that guy for a while, bro, just so I could be eligible to hoop, run track. I played tennis. I did a lot of sports.
Damn,
so yeah,
tennis.
Yeah, you would think that traditionally you don't see too many brothers out there swinging around. But Venus and Serena sparked my sister, who started playing varsity at freshman, and then before I became a freshman, she was like, "You're gonna play varsity too." I'm gonna. It really wasn't really a choice thing. My mom liked the idea that I'd be closer to her to watch me, so varsity tennis. So I just had, if it wasn't for sports, I don't even think I would have graduated. I don't think so. I think I would have been on the block. Yeah, or with some girls. Yeah. So that's my story. Easy.
For me, I think it was procrastinating a lot because like I'm very lazy when it comes to stuff I don't really like. Like with math, I'm not that good and I don't really like it. So like, why would I bother? You know. So and then with English, I'm alright, but it's like not the best. I don't like to read, you know. But the writing part, I'm decent with it. But then I think the biggest part that I had trouble with during high school, was sports. You know, I was missing a lot of classes. I was always tired. You know, I didn't want to do homework when I wanted to go.
Oh, dang.
So sports was like the blessing.
Yeah.
But then on your end, it's like taking away from
Yeah,
sports.
I had to.
That's crazy. Huh.
Yeah. So
Wow, that's a dope spin.
was
Tell
an
us more about that.
I was an athlete student, but not a student athlete. You know, so
Ooh.
yeah. So I was more on
Dang.
sports.
This guy's barred out right here. Got here with the gym.
Yeah. So yeah. So for me, it was like I would use sports as an excuse to ditch my classes. So like I would skip on tests or homework to say, oh, I was here and doing this, so I came in late. So I think sports for me is more of a blessing than a curse for me. Wow. You know, like it gave me many opportunities to go to play, you know, run at different colleges, but it also like hurt me, and like, you know, it got my parents mad at me for not, you know, they didn't understand it either. I didn't want to tell them because of sports because they would make me stop it.
Right.
So then it was like I had to tell them like, oh, I'm just like, I don't know why this is happening.
Answer this question for me on those like more like in-depth programs, because like there's a difference between playing football for like West and playing football for like Liberty, right?
Yeah.
So with Liberty, it's like the way they probably get out, which I know for this for a fact, is like leaves a lot less room for wiggle room. You got to be regimented. You got to get to sleep at 8. You got to eat how you're supposed to eat. You got to be at the gym. You got to go to early morning workouts. Like, so they got a program.
Yeah.
And that probably makes it harder.
It's harder actually. Yeah. So I had to wake up early for morning practices.
How early?
Like 5.
That's
5:30. 5:30. And mind this was off season. Not even like I was doing it to myself because I'm so dedicated to the sport. So I'm doing it to myself. Because like I'm like if there was no school, I'll sports would be my life forever. And it still is, you know, even after college and all that, sports, I always have sports with me. So then, so, you know, I'll wake up early, go to practice, then go to school tired, you know, not want to do anything. Wow. Then, you know, after school, I have like a 2-hour practice, weight room after, get home around 6, 7, eat, do homework in my room. When really I just have my computer open, documents open, and I'm just like chilling, relaxing, stretching, doing stuff.
That's cool.
So yeah, so
and even if you do everything right, you still don't get a life.
right.
So if you were to do this everything right, Netflix, Hulu, out. Girlfriend, out. Homies, out.
Yeah. Yeah. So
dang,
you know,
sports.
Dang, man.
Yeah. You guys like little professional athletes. Which as I don't want to go too much into it, but as people have been taking that sports stuff more seriously, they're putting this heavy amount of pressure on those kids at younger ages.
Yeah, I see that too. I think it's not like
GYF went from something like that was fun to like the NF dang L.
yeah, it's not. I think that's where it's like it got wrong to me. But I think they should start doing that when they're in high school because you know if they want to go play college, then they gotta get used to the system of how college is like. So for me, school was my second thing. You know, so it was sports.
Like it was sports.
It was sports. Then it was school. So a lot of my.
How were you able to stay on track enough to make this thing crack off? Because you ended up going to college and stuff. So.
Yeah. So I didn't do bad. I was there, but I wasn't like I was C's, like low C's, like 70%.
You were eligible.
I was eligible.
You were eligible. Yeah.
I had
that 2.15. If it's a 2.0 to play, I'm getting a 2.01.
Yeah. So I was there, but for schools, it wasn't the best. You know, I got rejected from a school because of my grades.
Wow.
So I was like, and they were offering me too, but I was like,
they were?
Yeah. You know, I had different offers too, but like this one, like it was pretty cool because it was closer to home than it was the other ones, and then they said no because of my grades. So I was like,
What about like your parents? You know how you got like just see 70%. Did your parents ever make like a big deal out of it? Or
they made a
anything?
huge deal out of it. Actually,
yeah.
My parents, they actually didn't talk to me for a month because of it.
Damn,
And I was like, wow.
Keep a straight face on this camera.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like
this is real.
And I didn't tell them why it was this happening, you know, because sports, and they were like, yo, that's dumb. Just like it's dumb, and like you're focused on something that might not even be in your life forever.
And if you say it's because of this, they're gonna make you get off the team.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I actually got off the team. I was playing soccer my freshman year. It just happened my freshman year. I was playing soccer. They made me drop it.
Drop soccer.
Yeah, I didn't drop it.
You didn't?
He's like,
How in the heck? Dude, this story is amazing, bro. I'm about to
I
take
didn't
you over
drop
to
it.
23 ABC after this. We
Yeah,
keep talking.
I didn't drop it. I fake tutoring. And then after like a week, they said, "Is that you can go back?" I was like, "Okay, cool."
I was already there.
I was
anyways.
Yeah, because I'm telling you,
This
like,
fool's a savage.
Hey, his parents are listening to this
And
right
I'm
now.
gonna get your parents to watch this podcast, bro. You're gonna get that overdue spanking.
He's 18 now.
So yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
sports for me is everything. It's always been since I was little, so I think it'll always be like that for the rest of my life too.
Yeah, for sure. It's in you.
It's like his passion right there.
Yeah.
You know, going.
That's dope, bro. Wow, thanks for that
Yeah, that's
insight.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
It's crazy. Like, you know, it was us. You know, like school was a barrier because we were doing bad things, and then him, like, he was doing something good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a trip. I'm over here trying to sell drugs. You're over here trying to get to school, and we're both having issues on totally different ends of the spectrum. That's why people should never glorify their problems.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad for me, because if you look to the left and look to the right, you can find somebody, whether they're like you or not, struggling too.
Yeah.
Other kids probably thought, like, oh, this guy's so jockey.
Yeah, he's doing
He's with
track.
the jocks. And yeah, he's too good.
He's getting
and
scholarships.
And he's at home stressing about his homework.
Yeah.
You know, how he can make this all work.
I was actually stressing about my future, like college. Like, am I actually going to get into college?
Wow.
But then I was like, I got sports. I'll be getting into it. But it wasn't always that way. I got a rude awakening when I got rejected from the school. Like, your grade, I was like, oh. So then, I just kept grinding it out ever since. Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't. Did you expect? I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that.
That's content. That's good. Yeah.
And it's just crazy how, dang, it's crazy.
Yeah. We're all tripped out right now about this. I have never heard, and I mean, I've obviously knew that, but I've never heard an athlete in you guys' generation actually stand up and say that sports is actually in the way of school.
Yeah, it actually is. It's more now in modern day now.
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot. Like this kid, I know some. I'm not gonna put him in class, but the same thing.
I wonder if student athletes would...
I think Victor's getting a little up. I think he's getting emotional, and I think he's...
Whoa. COVID, bro.
Yo,
Nah,
You guys don't know me, dude.
The things represented do not represent youth mobilized.
Nah, that's because the water went down the wrong hole, bro.
Charlie, you were crying.
You're
His eyes were going
He was crying, he was like-
you see his eyes?
You're trying to drink water?
That ain't right.
Nah, but
We'll see.
yeah.
But yeah, so for me, it's always sports or school.
Fine.
And I'm gonna change that for college, obviously, because now I'm paying for it.
Okay, wait. Before we get to Tim, I gotta ask you one more thing. Though. What changes? And this is me because I've never been a college athlete, right? Doesn't it get harder to be a student athlete in college? So what's changed?
So it is. So my coaches in high school, they always say like sports is more of a job than it is an activity now, because you have to go to school, right? And then next you have to go to practice, mandatory practices. Mandatory means that you can't get ditched unless you have a valid excuse, like you have classes.
Right.
So then I was like, oh. So then now I'm trying to like read more and trying to do more stuff to help me prepare for my college and study more and not just fake it.
So you're trying to get those good habits.
I'm trying to get those good habits in, and then I just.
Is it hard to add the habits where they haven't been?
Yeah, it really is.
It is, huh?
Because I was in a comfort zone in high school, like, whatever happens, happens. But here it's like, it has to happen or else I'm going to waste my friends' money.
It's hard.
So, because I don't get no scholarship from them or
Right,
financial aid,
right.
so it's coming out of the pocket. So if I waste their money,
This is
they're
real,
mad at
man.
me. So
Yeah.
so it's like really real.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now I got to become a student athlete now.
Yeah, it's not
didn't
athlete
even-
student.
yeah, that's deep, bro.
Student athlete.
Man, that was deep, bro. Yeah.
So okay. So in my high school career, I'd say the most like apparent barrier was my family. So I didn't really have that much of a problem in high school. The only problem was that I was like I wasn't paying attention that much. Procrastination was definitely a thing, but for me, but it was mostly not being able to pay attention, because Well, there's a lot of people like me, households who can't balance the school life and balance other extracurricular activities while also having like a non-supportive family. People a lot of have families that aren't really supportive of them.
Wow.
There's a lot of people who go like who would undergo a traumatic event and then show up to school like nothing happened.
Exactly.
And then you can't pay
That was
attention.
me.
Yeah, and then you can't pay attention and you can't focus right, and then it still goes on in your mind the whole day, and you didn't get anywhere.
Wow.
You don't go anywhere, and it's just like what do? You reach out to someone, you reach out to your counselor to tell your parents. You talk to a social worker, it helps, but you can't really see them that often because you gotta get your grades up, you gotta do all that. For me, math was like the hardest thing ever. It was just D's, C's, D's, and C's.
Me too.
Hated math, dude. It was awful.
Hated it.
I
And hated the way they taught it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
You were terrible at teaching it, most of you math teachers.
They watch it.
Yeah, some of the people. This is my podcast. I made it.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
But yes.
Yeah, no, it was.
No
They're
X and Y-
terrible.
No X, Y, and Z
They're
over
like,
here.
I'm like, what do I do? They're all carry the 9.
Math teachers are typically not talkative either, not really reassuring
Yeah,
anything.
Short.
They just present it and boom, you got it. You gotta learn it.
They're like,
fast.
did you carry the 1? I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I haven't even started the problem yet. When you do, carry the 1.
You know, and math is something else. You know, that's a
No,
different
it's
topic.
not.
Math is a barrier to education.
Education,
Math
yeah.
is the
Math is the barrier. On a more serious note, beefing with my parents a lot because of the activities that I was into in these two worlds, being like trying to be a little bad little boy and also trying to be on this teams with the squares and then also trying to keep it up
With
at
the
home. Yeah, and then at home trying to be like, I'm good. And it's like, I got a sack from the homies over here, but it ain't working out because we got to run the mile. And I'm over here trying to roll something up, and it's just all falling apart. And I'm going to school feeling weighed down. And when you're emotionally weighed down, it's hard to give a freak about what this guy's writing on this board. Have you ever felt so tore up and somebody's trying to talk to you and you're just kind of like,
What did you say?
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up, give me a minute. And that's what school started to be. And I said, well, it'll get better next week. It'll get better next week. It'll get better next week. And then by the time I was a junior, I was like, it's not going to get better. So then my efforts became more about how am I going to get the heck up out of this house? What I need to get up out of here. So then it wasn't even about like what I wanted to do in my education, just about like, I got to find a way up out of this house. And I'm about to be 18 and I'm going to get kicked out anyway, which ended up happening. But it came earlier, 17.
A little before.
Right, buried education.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to score high on the test for the Air Force, and I got out right then at 17. But it was still hard because the habits I took those to Texas, and breaking up the habit is hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Hard, bro.
And you started new ones.
Yes. You're looking at your homework. You're looking at NBA 2K. You got some text popping. Checking your phone often will hurt you while you're doing something. I do projects and I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, the homie. I'm all looking at like, did Jesus have waves? I'm like, what? Stupid stuff, bro. Jesus had waves. and then I get back to my homework at like 1:58 a.m. and I'm like,
Hey, Jesus does not have weight. Let's go.
all right, first answer, dog. Say, I hope they don't check this, and then go to sleep, get up mad early. And it was just like, I can't even pinpoint where I jacked up. I could try for the sake of the podcast, but I really can't. It's like so many different factors just have me all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. And I can definitely relate to that. And I feel like another thing was just how, no shade to them, but just like I mentioned, the principal coming and meeting with me, I felt like he tried to give me answers to my life. Like, yeah, do this. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that. Like,
He's trying to mentor you?
No, but like, he was like, join the military.
Oh.
Do this. And I was like, bro, why am I going to join the military?
Oh, okay.
And like, he knew that I would like, I'm not a U.S. citizen. He was like, bro, they can help you get your citizenship. And I was like, so what? I'm like, really sign my life away just to get my citizenship? I was like, I have nothing against joining the military. Like, if you want to, like, and that's your route, go ahead.
Right.
I have a lot of friends who did that.
Plans.
Yeah, but I was like, that's just not what I want to do. And then, so a lot of the times, like, the adults who want to help you with these issues are trying to, instead of empower you to, okay, well, you can do this. They try and give you, like, hey, dude, do this. That's what's going to help you. They don't tell you, like, hey, maybe if you try this a certain way, it can be a little better. Like,
because they don't believe in you to do it any other way.
You're snapping right
now. They just come at you like with like solutions that they think are gonna work. Like, wait, did you join the military?
Stupid shit too. Yeah.
So they need to understand that they are not you. They already live their life. Their job is to like give you like potential solutions, suggestions, and all that, so you can choose what you want to do, choose how you want to do it.
Because you're not gonna know me and tell me what job
exactly.
I should have.
Right.
Like, what do you think I should do? Truck driving's always happened. I'm like, bro, have you seen me drive? Like, I can't be no truck driver. I'm driving for 24, 32 hours. I cannot do that. So if you're not asking me no questions about me, get up out of here. I don't want no advice from you. Or you're not trying to get to know me or whatever.
I liked how you when we went to Vista West. Shout out to Vista West. When we went out there, you kind of mentioned to the kids, we're like, we're not here to, tell you how to live your lives. We're here to give you, certain ways, and then that way you can make those decisions. And I feel like that's what us, like, especially when, when we're having troubles at home or whatever, we don't want you to, give me a solution. Like, just, give me some ways around it.
Yeah, hear me out. Tell me some wisdom.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks they have the answer.
Yeah.
But we all have issues too. It's bananas.
And issues change over time. No one faces the same situation. It changes. Like you were struggling. You know how that you guys talked about. He was struggling trying to be a good student. You were struggling.
Trying to be a thug.
Trying to be a thug.
Pretending.
So it's like situations and issues change over time, and it's different every generation. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
That's dope. That's pretty deep too, actually.
Yeah, and I like how, we have like two different perspectives too, or a few, because like family, athlete, getting in trouble at school, not even wanting to go. He was doing sports. I did sports I did football, wrestling, and soccer my freshman year.
Fire.
And after that, it was.
No, what happened?
Just grades. And I feel like that's another thing too. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is deep. Go for it. We got
it.
Okay. We'll come back.
We'll come back.
This is hot.
All right, guys. So, y'all check out this promo. Check us out. And hopefully you guys like it.
BRB.
Welcome back to Voices for KERN.
Fire!
All right, so we were talking about our
Fire.
Some of our barriers to education, and then right before we went to the promotional video, I was talking about how sports and school and classes, right? And I was about to go on a rant because
you can see it in your face,
bro.
Yeah.
If I could go back in time, I'd fade that teacher.
Oh my!
Stop.
Okay.
No, get your feelings out.
No, but it's because all right. So I was talking about how. So I played soccer since I was third grade. So before I started playing soccer here, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
So when I first came to the U.S., I was always fighting like crazy. Like I was never in school. Like I was always suspended for something. I get suspended 3 days, come back to school.
How old are you at this time?
I was a little kid, bro. I was like, bro, like preschool to like third, fourth grade one time. Bro.
Preschool?
Oh, this is getting good.
But I was like, dude, I was bro. And like I remember my dad one time he said that like I kind of remember this
MMA or something.
No, my dad said he walked into the office one time, right? And like they're like, oh, your son fought, and then my dad was like, oh, well, he's like, I seen this big old kid. He's like, I seen you. He's like, and I was like, nah, there's no way he fought that kid. And then I was like, oh, well, what did he fight? And they're like, oh, you fought that kid right there. And then
the school staff is probably tired.
Yeah, bro.
We got a code victory.
Crazy. Right now, that's probably what it's called right now, like Code Victor. Like, hey, Code. But so I was always like fighting there, and I remember I had like I don't know what he was, but he kind of told me like, do something else, like maybe redirect your energy somewhere else. And I started playing soccer, like just right there on the fields, and then I started playing on teams. And honestly, I was pretty good. I like to say I was pretty good. And I played soccer all the way till my freshman year of high school. So from third grade kind of kept me out of trouble because I wanted to play soccer. And if I got in trouble, my dad was gonna be like, "Hey, dude, like, I'm gonna get you off the team." So that kind of kept me distracted for sure. And then once I got to high school, my freshman year, I started playing soccer. I did tryouts, got the team. And then maybe like 2-3 weeks into like the season, the grades come in. So grades come in. I don't know how it works with you guys. The grades come in like.
And then you act surprised. I'm not even gonna go there, but you'll like open up the grades and be like,
What? No, hey, no.
I didn't get a 4.0. Like, bro, you haven't been in school in 2 weeks.
So you only had to pass. Well, in my district, you only had to be passing 4 classes out of the 7 you take in order to be eligible.
What kind of district is that?
Really?
Yeah.
For here, you had.
We need to take them down.
Because over here it's like 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, I think in some schools it's different. Like my school was 2.5.
That means you have to be passing at least. You have to pass every class.
Yeah, so 2.5 and above, you can participate.
Oh no! For us, it was like you have to be passing 4 of the classes out of the 7.
Well, it's a small city too, so.
Thugged out, bro.
Yeah. Bro, and honestly, we're a broke district, bro. Like Tulare County is like probably like the most broke county here in California. So, that's.
And that's Salinas County?
No, we're Tulare County.
Tulare County. Okay.
And
Is that where Exeter's at?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been to the school.
Exeter's like 15 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I've been to the school. It's pretty dope.
It's Lindsay High School. You've probably been out there for track. We just got a track.
Yeah, we got
I've
to
been
Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's like the Christmas trees. The Christmas tree colors?
Yeah.
Their colors is like red, green.
Yeah.
No, Lindsay.
Oh, what the heck? Yeah, so
They always sucked.
all right. Hey, no, we were really good at soccer though, bro. We won state. We won
Nah,
like.
it was hoop.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, get to the story.
All right, no, yeah. So I had to be passing the 4, right?
Okay.
And grades come in. I was only passing 3, but I knew I was passing 4. All right. I think it was my biology teacher who didn't get to put in her grades in on time. So when the grades come in, they come and tell me like, "Hey, you can't be playing on the team. Like, you can still practice with us and everything." He's like, "But you're not gonna be able to play like the whole season until other grades come in. So until next season, you get to play." And I was like, "What the heck? Like, dude, I'm passing my classes." And I told the coach like, "Nah, like, I think one of my teachers input like the grades a little bit after. Like, is it cool if I let her know?" And then he was like, "Nah, like grades are in. Once they come in, you can't do it." And I was like, "Bro, what?" And
that discouraged the crap out of you.
Yeah, it did. And because I after that, the soccer coach was my counselor's like, so her husband. So I go and tell her like, "Hey, dude, like this guy, he told me this, and I'm passing my classes, but this and that." They're like, "Yeah, we'll talk to him." And nothing ever happened. After that, like you said, it discouraged me. Like I was like, you know what, screw this. I don't even want to play soccer anymore.
But it's like also it's like that thing where like they grades come in, they see you're not doing so well, you're only passing 3 out of the 4 classes, and they automatically assume that this guy's being lazy or what is he doing?
Yeah.
They don't ask you, Victor, is like everything okay? Are you falling behind? What's going on? They just automatically assume that you're not that guy. You're failing and you have no motivation. You're lazy, and boom, nothing happens.
And what's crazy is like, it's just I knew I had those classes passed, bro. And sometimes I think back at it like, what if I didn't get kicked out?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, where would I be right now, bro? I'd probably be playing professionally in like Europe right now.
You'd be like the next Ronaldo, bro.
Nah, I don't know about that. I'd probably be playing with Messi right here in the MLS or something. That's crazy, but
you just never know. Those small things,
yeah,
they really can discourage you, bro.
And they just change your whole like life path,
whole trajectory.
after that, bro. Because after that, so that was my after school activity. After that, what do I do after school?
Ooh, hood recreation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So after that was when my life started changing. I think I was always a pretty bad kid. Even like 7th grade. Troubled, yeah. I was a troubled kid. Yeah, kind of had to raise myself, but it was at that point where it was like, well, what am I gonna do now?
Is a barrier to education also parents that just aren't interested?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Definitely.
I think that's like the biggest one.
Is that a bar?
I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, that's a huge one, huh?
I've seen a lot.
Yeah. Because so my mom's thing was, and I'm not going to say she's not interested. I hope my mom never watches the content I actually make. She's going to be so mad. But anyway.
You'll be like, why am I always being
She doesn't actually watch it because I make so much content, so she's just like, whatever. But anyway, and it works for me. He's like, I forgot what I was saying. This is funny. But anyway, oh yeah, she would always be like, "Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework?" But she never went beyond that. Yeah, let me see it, or what your grades look like, or when they used to give us the little progress reports to take home, not mail them yet. You're supposed to give them to them. I'd be like, whoop.
Don't have none.
Anybody about to see this? So it's like she was interested in the idea of me doing well in school because obviously that's what the other parents at the church were doing. That was what other parents in our communities were doing. So it was like, I know I'm supposed to be on his butt about it. But did you really like vet me out or really see like the extent of what I'm doing? Like, how was I getting away with all that ditching? Once again, my choices. But I'm just saying, as a parent now, it's like, nah. Oh, we about to find out. Yeah. We're going to find out. I'm not going to let you tell me you're doing your homework for a whole year, and then I got to find out at the end of the year you're failing. So I think sometimes inactive parenting, unless you're just one hell of a kid, yeah, I mean, you got to be an exceptional kid to do this thing just straight up. But I think the parenting affects the youth's choices just as much as their own sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's how my parents were. Well, they used to tell me, they would ask me how am I doing my homework, and I was like, yes. It's like, okay.
Like I've never lied before.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Like I didn't get told to not join soccer or get out of soccer, and I still stayed.
But then they're like, if you're lying, it's your future, not mine. So you're just hurting yourself in the future. In the long run, you're just hurting yourself. So
you're like, yeah, sure.
Like, yeah, it's okay.
I'll do it this later.
Yeah.
I had a 40 in my backpack. You know what I'm saying? Literally. Yeah. It was like coming home kind of drunk, coming home high. There was a time when I came home on ecstasy. Damn. Literally on ecstasy. Man, I just really give you guys some really good confessions all the time.
Nah, bro, but you know,
the power of that
it's like you say, like you had a 40 in your backpack, like, and it goes back to your environment as well. Because where are you getting these 40s?
Yeah. The homies. Yeah. That's where I got that's where I got everything.
I had we had in my neighborhood, bro, we had corner stores that like you walk up in there, bro, and they're, how old are you? 21? All right. This good enough for me.
He's all 5 foot, 4'7", with a bare face and freaking getting cigs and beer, and we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Barriers to education for real, bro. Yeah. Getting access to stuff that you shouldn't have. I should have never been 16 years old and had access to ecstasy.
That's crazy.
How? The homie at school. He had him. He was like, let's take him and stay here. And I was like, all right. Took him, realized after an hour, it is literally impossible to take them and stay anywhere. So I was like, I got to get out of here. I got to go home. Then I got home. My mom was there. She's like, what's up with you? I'm like, damn, I got to get to my room. And then I got to my room, and everybody knew something was up with me, but nobody did anything about it. And I fizzed out in my room for 5 cold hours, drinking water. And I did not go to sleep that night. And the next morning, I went to school at 5, and I was tired. And I didn't pay attention to any of my work. And I ended up getting put in school retention because I started like making jokes because I was falling so much behind in my classes because of all of the recreational activities I was doing. So I started like that barrier, that class clown. Sometimes that class clown just doesn't feel comfortable, bro. Sometimes that class, it's not that he's that bad. It's just that he's like already super behind and he's stimulated still. He doesn't know what to do. So he just starts disrupting everything. And people are laughing and I'm getting a kick out of it because I like to goof around. And now I'm in school retention. And I'm not, they used to call it ISR, and I'm not learning. So now I'm more behind. Now I need a way to cope. So I go back to the homie with ecstasies. And I'm like, you got more? He's like, let me see. He does. And here we go. Start out a 7-month period where I'm literally doing drugs. Doing drugs is a big barrier to education.
Yeah.
Okay. The answer to number 1 was like 1. The answer to number 2 was 2. The answer to number 3 was D. Like, I didn't care. And nobody really looked into it. I just got to be honest. Everybody was on my butt, though, because everybody knew I was messing up, but they didn't know how to help. It was just like, lecture me to death.
That's how I was, too. I always went to school high. I mean, I never did any of that.
Yeah. You weren't as crackhead as shit.
No, but it's not. It's because I had cousins and I seen that and I seen what it did to them.
Take out the game.
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, like he used to be normal, bro. You know? Yeah, but you know, I would always go to school high, and it's like you said, it's like they didn't even like, bro. I'd be just sitting there and they'd be like, oh, like another day. I mean, maybe there was like 1 or 2 teachers who like did like, you know, tell the office and they came and got me. But even then, it was just like they didn't do much. It was just like, all right, you're gonna get in school. And now you're sitting in this school all high, you know, like, all right,
yeah, putting up with all the bad kids from school, so it's like a convention for thugs.
But one thing that I could say, shout out to Shirley Moore. She was our in school detention. She was like our anytime I like or like a troubled kid went like or did something in school, everybody would go to her.
Right.
There was a lot of people who hated her, but I loved her because she was actually one of the people that actually like sat down and told me like, dude, like why are you doing this?
Yeah. She cared for you.
Yeah, and she was there for like, if you're from Lindsay and you went to Lindsay High School, you know who Mrs. Moore is. Like she was, I mean, she retired the year I graduated.
That's crazy.
So, and I remember seeing her.
She was just making sure that you actually finished. She's like, good, I'm done.
And after like I graduated and I started working at Walmart, I seen her there and she gave me her number too. She's like, hey, like you ever need anything, just reach out to me and stuff like that. Cool. So she was always that person who like she didn't tell me, hey, stop doing drugs. She told me, hey, like what if you try and stop? She's like, and then kind of see how that goes. She's like, and then she's like, every day just try and stop. She's like, when you pass by me, just give me a number of how many days you've been clean. She's like, and trying to see if like it makes a change in your life. And I was like, like this, you know, this is crazy.
I want to get on that. I want to ask them this because you just mentioned the village. That's really what it is. Everybody says it takes a village, right? Outside the two-parent or one-parent household, it takes a village. I think not having adequate support systems is another barrier to education. Can you guys think of any people or just this topic in general or whatever pops to mind, or maybe a person that, you know, was not a part of your immediate family, but they were a part of that village? Because I had a lot of people like that.
Jesus! Each other's soda, man. We're gonna finish each other's sentences in a second.
Dude. Come on, bro, man.
You know.
I think for me it was my coach, my track coach. He was always there from my freshman year to like high school. Still is now. We still talk and all that. But it's like, I think if I didn't like have somebody to like talk to about certain things that I could talk to like my parents, right? Then I think it would have been like, it would have taken a toll on me. It would take me to like a different place. It would have led me to do things I should have done, should have taken or stuff like that. So I think having someone like you're comfortable telling things that you want to tell your parents is a key thing to your, not only to your education, but to your mental health and just for you and your brain, your mind too. So I think that's so shout out to my coach. Shout out to my coach,
Changing lives, didn't even know it, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean back in my high school life, high school career, honestly, no, I had no one I could really even talk to. No, like good support system. The only person I could talk to was myself. I was writing every thought. I was journaling. I had a therapist. I didn't really like that therapist that much. I've been through like 2 therapists. The second one was all right. It didn't really work out though. So I just never had had a person to talk to, never to explain my feelings. No one giving me like good advice, and it's just like
how did that hinder your education?
It hindered it because it also like there was that, and also in high school I was antisocial. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't have any friends, dude. I didn't have any friends, and I like started hating myself. I was going through a whole thing of just self-hatred. I hated what I did. I hated how I looked like. I hated everything about myself. So, and I didn't have anyone to talk to with about that. No one to change my feeling, my perspective on like my view on life or everything. It was kind of weird, but now. But since I've been out of the previous household I've been, and I moved to my extended family, my tia, I live with my tia now, and she like just changed my whole world, dude. She gives me a lot of advice, a lot of consejos, everything is just like, it changed so much. And now,
se dice consejos en
consejos, it's advice.
Consejos. Gracias.
Yeah, but
I'm on this kick lately, guys.
Because back then I hated asking for help. I hated reaching out to people. I hated the idea where I couldn't make it myself, and I hated reaching out. So it took my tia looking for me. It took my tia like reaching out to me herself, and it was beneficial because she changed my whole world. And my entire extended family is basically reached out to me, and they showed that they care about me. And I never asked for their help, and I should have asked for their help a long time ago.
I want to ask him another question back to back on that. You said that the people helped you. Do you think that kids of Gen Zers feel like more pressure to keep that stuff to themselves, as opposed to saying, and this is for you too, and you too, do you think you guys feel that like in high school in particular, like I'm struggling in class right now, but you're not gonna go and be like, yo, mom, I'm literally struggling. Like, it's more like, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you think it because you see that your family is also struggling financially. They're also struggling with their own demons and their own troubles. So you think, okay, why am I gonna present my problems to them so they can get more stuff to deal with? And it's like you don't want that for them.
Yeah.
I did that.
But the thing is, if you do communicate with them and everyone communicates with each other, both parties get like benefit from it. And it's like it's just
But I feel like as a kid too, like growing up, like it's the exact same thing. You know, I didn't grow up with my mom. My mom lives in Mexico, and we came over here when I was like 5.
Oh wow.
And so I grew up with just my dad and my sister. But my sister, she got pregnant pretty young, so she had her own kids to worry about.
Wow.
So I saw my dad was always working and stuff like that. So I was like, dude, he already has enough struggles. Like, why am I gonna have to? Not even knowing that, me keeping that inside and doing all these bad things were even worse than just talking to him and telling him, hey, you know. So I feel like that's definitely one of the biggest things too. I feel like that's why we feel like we have to keep things to ourselves because we just don't want to bring that stress, like not even knowing that our actions and not talking about that is going to bring more stress. Yeah.
I think it depends on how the parents are. Like my parents, when I told them once, because why keep it from them? They're gonna find out either way. Now I'm failing the math class. There's always math for me.
I like to the very end.
Oh yeah.
About the day the report cards came out, I was still standing in front of her like
that's wrong. That's wrong.
You about to be proud. Anyway.
Yeah, but so I told them, I was feeling kind of. I thought they were gonna scream at me for like, oh, why are you not doing this and what was it? But they're like, no, they helped me like they asked me if I need to go do tutoring or something like that. So I think that's cool, but I think if it was like different parents, they'd be screaming at them and not hear them out like why this and that, and like give them offering, instead of just screaming at their heads and just saying it, making them feel worse than they already are.
If you come to me and I rip your head off, you're not coming to me no more.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's over.
So that's where that bond between the kids and parents, they fall apart. Because
do you think I'm gonna have just one more because this is like invoking so many questions. I know we got a lot more stuff too though, but do you think like groups like Time for Change and other groups like Time for Change?
Just Time for
There's
Change.
always Time for Change.
Yeah, just Time for Change.
There's a couple out there. There's Time for Change, Time for Change.
Time for Change.
Baby. And with that being said, do you think that groups like this are almost going to be forced to play like more prominent roles in youth's lives because of parents being out of touch, parents being generationally out of touch? And we are like in that center. Even me as a millennial, like I can look to my mom and I can look to you guys. You guys are like the same distance from me. My mom is the same exact distance as you guys are. So it's kind of like I can be that bridge. And I think the millennials are the ones that are kind of putting some of this stuff into play and you guys are going to run with it. Do you think it'll become more important for these groups to like bridge gaps and tutors and mentors to really get more intentional? Or what do you guys think?
That's actually something that I was going to talk about too because I mentioned to you guys about the KERN equity symposium.
You're speaking at it.
Yeah. So when I go there, so when I go there and like if they do ask like what are some things that the school can do, I definitely think that nonprofits like this, like just involving them more in your schools. So now
yes,
the kids have someone to go talk to as well. Because like what we're talking about, our parents sometimes are the ones like we can't go and talk to them.
Yeah.
So having like these nonprofit groups that are diverting your time or to go do better things, you can talk to them as well. Like, dude, that's a blessing right there. Yeah.
I think it'd be better for the kids to have someone that they could relate to. Someone like what if someone's struggling with school, well, they're more part of sports like I was. I could talk to them and tell them like think about it in the long. I wasn't thinking about the long run when I was in high school. I was just thinking about now. And,
of course.
Yeah. So, but I got to obviously, So, but yeah, just having someone that you can relate to would be big in someone's kid's life.
I wish I had that person.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hug you.
Okay.
He didn't even ask. He just said, "I'm gonna."
It was like a statement in the form of a question. I was like, "I'm gonna hug you,"
See,
okay. I'm practicing, but you have that now. I want you to know that. I think you do know that you have that.
I do.
You have that. You have that not just with Tia, but you have that with all of us, and we love you and we appreciate you. I just want to go on record saying that, but also like to know your story. It honestly does make me feel sad, bro. because that's another kid that almost didn't make it. If you weren't so resilient, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's because
Jump in.
I know so many people who had it like worse than me. They have worse families. They have just worse everything, worse living situation, and it's like
Wow.
I don't know. I wish I could do. There's only so much one person can do. There's only so much they can do, and it's like it's a pipe dream right now. But like at some point in my life, I want to start like a nonprofit or something to target those who can't live with their families, who don't have anywhere to stay,
Like Source Solutions, I think that's what they do.
Yeah.
The Macy's.
No, yeah. There's a lot of groups that do a similar thing, which I need to read up on and connect with. But it's just like
we could do it.
I need to do something. I need to do.
Like,
I need to play a part in something like that.
Time for Change could do it.
Yeah, Time for Change could do it.
Change.
But yeah, it's just if some of my friends are undergoing worse living situations than what I undergo, then how many other people I don't know are going through the same thing right now?
Sure.
And it's like, who knows how many people are going through that.
And the more you get into the hood, the more you see parents, like, they don't even have the capacity to care. It's not even that they care or don't care. It's like a lot of the parents just, I'm so burdened down, dude. My food stamps are about to run out. I don't even got a car. I'm smoking ganja every day, looking at Netflix to cope, by the way, to cope with the life I ended up with. The daddy left me. He ain't no good. I got to get your shoes from Kicks for Kids events and stuff like that. Do I really have the bandwidth to be concerned about you getting to school and you staying there and who you hanging with? I mean, and that's a question we could riff off that all year, because some parents are like, you should still do what you can, but just from a mental health standpoint, being that burdened down, do you really have what it takes to monitor a kid? And then a kid like you or me, like on top of that, I'm not talking about like just a kid that comes and goes, like a kid that the second mom leaves, I'm like, where we going? You know what I'm saying?
A party at the house?
Every day having to do that, they don't have the mental health. They don't have the bandwidth. A lot of them just don't have it. So who's going to step in the gap for these kids that can't get to the plate? And I know we're going all over the place with this, but we should, because I think this is the real combo.
Mm-hmm.
That we really, all of us have similar stories, but different.
Yeah.
Right.
But none of us should be where we are right now. Whether that you think that's amazing or not so amazing, whatever it is, sitting here right now in college, thinking about your future, college, jobs.
Motivated to do so many good things.
Right.
Right.
Me, I'm a janitor, and that's good.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't mind. And then, but that's good, right? Like, none of us could have made it. So, like he's saying, like, I think it is the responsibility of peer groups and youthful adults is what I'll say. You have to be youthful enough to be able to talk to these guys and really not be trying to preach to them per se, but just kind of chopping it up. And, hey, you can do what you want, but if you do this, it's gonna go like that. You do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think like he was saying, that track coach thing. But so many kids don't play sports. Do they ever get that type of access?
Not really.
I don't play any sports. I mean,
Nothing?
no. I didn't want to play volleyball, but it never happened.
Okay, that's what's up. I be playing volleyball at the park. You know? Yeah.
I think, I'm not too sure if my high school had like a guys volleyball.
No, I don't think
It's a pretty recent thing.
I think they did.
I never seen
Boys
it.
volleyball.
I think I seen one guy play volleyball.
Mhm.
I might be tripping, but
Yeah, didn't know they give him a hard time. Like, let that man play.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been. Whoa. Anyway. Yeah. Anyhow, this podcast been great, babe.
hopefully, man, I feel like all these topics we talk about is like
We could
we
ramble
just
on,
get the
huh?
surface. You
Yeah,
know, it's
Just
like,
barely, bro.
Yeah.
It's so deep.
Yeah.
Hearing their stories
Part 2.
did something to me
Part two.
today. I know.
no, and
Gotta run
what I like
back.
about this too is like, you know, we don't just get to talk and share, but you know, we get to learn a lot from you guys because I didn't even know this about you guys. Like, bro, I just met.
I feel like
you.
I know. Yeah, I feel like I know both you guys better.
Yeah,
you know?
so yeah, that's the beauty of this. You know, just
Wow.
gets us talking, gets people talking. We get to hear our stories and make a change. You know, as long as we touch one life, that's fine by me. So, no, shout out to you guys for coming. Thank you guys for
Thank you for
sharing
having
your
me.
stories.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys come back again, talk about this a little bit more.
I love this podcast. Like I love talking on a podcast.
You guys are good at it.
Yeah, you guys are
Yes, I'm wrong.
naturals for sure.
For real, dude. Literally.
He's like, I don't know.
This
man.
guy's the smooth. He's just the smoothest guy that ever lived to me, bro. He's like James Bond or something.
He was like, he hides that he was on track.
He's smooth, yeah, he's smooth.
He's hiding everything, bro. It came out today.
Yeah, dude.
But
He has a tuxedo under this.
Yeah,
He just rips it off.
you guys caught me. You guys caught me.
I need
Nah.
help. Okay.
But so thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Check us out on the socials. TYM4C KERN.
You got it, boy.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not on socials, but I got it anyways.
You almost thrashed it.
But
You saved it at the end.
yeah. So check us out. Follow us. And yeah, see you guys on the next one.